Game on, everyone. Duels of the Spellslingers tournament number 5. Before we begin today, I'd like to give a big shout out to antlr, the guy who organizes and creates videos and edits videos and kind of just runs a bit of everything. As well as the commentators. So far we got myself. If anyone else is interested, we'll probably put up a request in Discord if you'd like to help create videos, edit something, comment, or whatever. Please let us know. We'd always appreciate more help. Also, before we begin, did you guys know actually Magic the Gathering is actually printed in 11 languages? So it's English, French, German, Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, Russian, Japanese, Korean, Chinese traditional, and Chinese simplified. I'm actually Chinese myself, so that means I can read Magic in still one of the 11 languages. And because of translation, things get lost in translation. So we have this interesting fact. There was a card called Yawgmoth's Agenda, but when it gets translated into Japanese, it's actually called Yawgmoth's Day Planner. In any case, a bit of odd things happen in translation. You can read up on that, some interesting things. So we're going to get started into Tournament 5, and before we begin, just a reminder, Tournament 5 is a little bit easier because we're a little low on manpower. It's still best 2 out of 3, but there's no rules for cards or decks or planeswalkers. It's just like pressing the battle button in game, and we're just going to expect players to have super duper optimized decks. So with that, we're going to get into round 1.
Round 1.
All right, so round 1 fight. Round 1, what do we get? All right, we get ExBoss on Teferi versus IronBrice on Nahiri. So Tahiri versus Nahiri, that rhymes so well. I'm going to try my best to use that in the tournament, this match. So ExBoss is rocking that refreshment stand, and it looks like IronBrice is rocking that volcano, which on turn 5 can do randomly 3 damage to the opponents or the opponent's creatures. Turn 1 ExBoss, because of refreshment stand, gets Tajik and he passes. Yeah, he does. IronBrice on turn 1, due to refreshment stand, IronBrice on Nahiri gets. What do you get? You get that, the Raise Boar. I don't know how to say that guy. Illarg. The Raise Boar. Anyways, 7 mana, 6/6 trample with haste. When it dies, it creates an artifact with 2 charges, gives +2/+0, and trample. Super effective on, well, just like turn 1, IronBrice plays the Hellhound, but blows the mana gem. I don't know why. I think that's a mistake. In any case, ExBoss passes on turn 2, IronBrice on turn 2. You're gonna go for that 6 damage basically from the double-headed Hellhound and the 2 damage from the Raging Goblin, so that's 8 damage on turn 2. That's amazing. So turn 3 ExBoss, I think he might play Teferi's Acolyte and get the free Call of the Wind. Nope, does Immolating Glare instead? Yeah, that's probably good, because I'm guessing IronBrice is going to use Nahiri's Stoneforge Blade again on the dog, because 2 damage into 6 damage is such great value. So hopefully IronBrice, or rather Nahiri, can see that, but it has to be determined if Nahiri's going to go in. Alright, so goes for the 4/2 Iguana, and do you attack with the dog? Maybe you're afraid of the Immolating Glare, and so you're going to play around it. Nope. Looks like you're going to do it anyways. You're going to go in. There we go. Immolating Glare, Value Glare. Really trying to put off that pressure on Teferi. And just like that, IronBrice did no damage. So this looks like it's going to be a sort of long game. Teferi versus a very fast trample, damage, shock, creature destruction from Nahiri. So turn 4, I think it's going to be Tajik. Yeah, because Tajik can kill the 4/2 Iguana. 4/2 Iguana might or might not block the 2/3. Also, Tajik's effect when he attacks, all the other creatures except for himself become immune to spell and trap damage, which is basically everything that Nahiri can throw at ExBoss's creatures. So yeah, I think that's the play, right? So it looks like Nahiri is already on the defensive. What do you get, Nahiri, on turn 4? So let's see how turn 4. You get the Electromage. Okay, so Electromage, I don't know if there's a lot of good turn 4s. You could do the 3 mana, the haste Minotaur, and maybe put your thing on it too. Alright, you class the Electromage. and you give him the Stoneforge blade, but I don't know, and you give shields up. Okay, so basically you're kind of taunting Tajik to attack, but I don't know if Tajik is going to attack because, I mean, he's just going to suicide into that guy. Maybe ExBoss on turn 5 could do something like a, call the wind, maybe cast the Welkin, and just kind of leave it at that. And just so it can block, that way Electromage's, the Stoneforge Mystic Blade, the Stoneforge Blade doesn't get value. ExBoss, do you attack? So no, you don't. Very well done. So Electromage is back at 3-2, and I believe IronBrice might shock the bird, and then Stoneforge Blade the Electromage to make it a, well, it's going to be +1, so yeah, 6. It's going to be a 6-2 if you use the shock. No, decides to go for Nahiri's Outburst. Very well done. Okay, but I don't think you're going to attack unless you shock that first. So you probably have to shock the Welkin, and just like that, it's going to be a 7-2, 7 damage. Boom. So Teferi versus Nahiri. So Teferi is down to 10, gets the 3-2 wind elemental, I believe, and 6 mana, Immolating Glare for sure, Absorb maybe. And so now that you're in Nahiri on turn 5, and your Volcano triggers, does it kill the Welkin? Nope. No, just 2 damage to ExBoss's face. Okay, it would have been really nice to kill that, because Nahiri probably could have ended the game if it killed that guy. Or it could have been close anyways, casting the Electromage with the haste. Yeah, but there we go. Absorb. Absorbs the Blitzing Minotaur. ExBoss is back up to 11, thankfully. And I don't think Nahiri will attack because he wants to keep that Electromage in to basically maybe do a lot of damage. So it needs to find like a shock, maybe even attack with a shields up or something, but nope. Okay, does go for the attack actually. And Immolating Glare kills it. Incredible, says Nahiri. Wow, says ExBoss. ExBoss on turn 7 with 7 mana. Okay, so this is starting to get into Teferi's sort of long game. So we can see the, okay, casts the artifact to draw 1 more. There we go. Disorient, very well done. Angel of Mercy, yeah, lots of heal in Teferi's deck. Teferi. Anyways, Teferi has back up to 14, and now it's the same as Nahiri's life. Okay, kills the wind elemental. Excuse me. Brings down the Angel of Mercy down to 1 life. Now you're just making me look bad, he says. Plays the Electromage. I think the Iguana's going to go for the attack, but due to Disorient, and okay, never, yeah, due to Disorient, it's just going to be a, well, -3 is going to be a 3 damage. Bring ExBoss down to 10. So hopefully ExBoss has either more heal or some sort of board clear. Okay, Team Captain isn't a bad answer. Maybe looking also for a trap. Absorb. Maybe the play is, yeah, Absorb and Team Captain. There we go. But the question is, will Nahiri also use shields up? Maybe also the Blitzing Minotaur. Maybe just, yeah, okay, guess that's the second Minotaur getting absorbed for the second time. And I think he's gonna, you know, proc shields up. Yeah, an attack with Electromage, and it might look like a favorable trade, but it won't be, because they're just going to, yeah, they're just going to cancel each other's shields. There we go. So, looking at this, it looks like it's going to be bringing Teferi down to 10 life, and the question is, can you, yeah, Celestial Protector can give everyone else shields, right? So he's gonna, yeah, cast that and make him attack, making his Celestial Protector a 7/7. There you go, very well done. IronBrice, do you block? Because you have no favorable blocks. Maybe block with the Iguana, keeping your Electromage alive, but you don't have an answer for that 7/7, and so you're basically on a 2-turn timer. Alright, so blocked with the Iguana, and now with the Electromage, yeah, you're really looking to find a way to deal with that 7/7. You need some sort of, maybe you need just those quick removals, like the 3 mana white card that kills any creature that is 5 power or greater. I think you really need that. And even, yeah, Nahiri's Outburst it's not enough. So I think you're forced to end the turn. Maybe you can just Nahiri's Outburst on the team captain. There we go. But definitely don't attack, and you're basically still... Okay, you could attack. Alright, Disorient, there we go. So it looks like it's going to be a very bad trade. It puts Nahiri down on a 2-turn timer. We have no answer. Nahiri has no answer for that 7-3. So that's going to be 7 damage going in and 1 last turn, but we'll have to see what IronBrice's deck brings about. So yeah, probably draw a trap, maybe Teferi's Acolyte, Call the Wind. Sorry, it's not the Wind Elemental, Call the Wind. Yeah, summons that, or rather will summon that at the end of the turn, and just like that, it's a very solid board, and here he really needs a Day of Judgment, Lava Wave or something to save the game. No, okay, gets the Fire Spell Elemental instead, but goes for the Crazed Boar, but that's still not going to be enough. 8-6 goes in, right, so blocks with as much HP as you can block with, which is the Acolyte. Boar stays alive, but we know it's going to be next turn. It's a thrilling match. And he says, good game, which is just good. IronBrice leaves, which is fine. There's no need to play to the end. I mean, we know she's lost, or rather he's lost. Whatever gender IronBrice is that they've lost. Just like that, ExBoss has won round 1. Very well done, ExBoss. We're going to go into round 2. All right, so round 2, what do we get?
Fight.
Round 2, is it going to be the same? Is it going to be different? IronBrice is on Kaya versus ExBoss on the same Teferi deck. Very well done. I would have kept the Disorient, actually, because Kaya is known for those very early creatures with the attacks. Alright, so it looks like it's going to be Kaya with a little bit of control from Smite the Monstrous. Puts all 3 cards back. Gets the Ghost Blade, the Drain Blood, and Ragna Redeemer. Very well done. Okay. So, turn 1 Refreshment Stand. What do you get? IronBrice gets, well, IronBrice says, hey there, and gets the Rakdos the Showstopper. 7 mana. When it casts, the debut has a chance, 50-50 chance, to basically destroy every creature on board by flipping a coin. ExBoss gets Lightning Helix. It might prove pretty useful. ExBoss casts Disorient, but I don't think white-black has any haste, so I don't believe there's any point in casting Disorient. But anyways, it's going to be very well done later on when IronBrice has those sneak guys, has other creatures with +1 or +2 attack thanks to the land that IronBrice is rocking. I think at turn 4, Kaya's land has a chance to basically give +1/+0 to all creatures on board and creatures that are being cast that turn. So everyone so far has not cast any creatures, and it's a bit of a slower deck, I have to be honest, for Kaya. Kaya is usually known for those 1 or 2 mana creatures that would sneak or some sort of, on death effect or something, but it looks like it's going for a more long-term Kaya deck. So let's see how that plays out. So yeah, so IronBrice is going to probably go in for the attack, but may not be aware that ExBoss has a Disorient, or might have to chance it, because I mean that's how you have to play. That's how you have to play Kaya, by doing damage to your opponent. Alright, so Drain Blood goes in, very well done, and IronBrice thinks it's going to be 3 damage, but Disorient counters that, very well done. It's going to be a 0-1, which is immune to damage on Kaya's turn, which is pretty funny, but it's kind of useless at this moment. There is an interesting combo, I think it's Krav, where, okay, very well done, IronBrice does the 1 damage, but I don't know why IronBrice would do that. Usually you would save it to combo off with your sort of Assassin's Kaya quest. So it might be a misplay, it might not be, but we'll have to see how that plays out later. ExBoss gets the 2/5 bird and casts Shields Up, and now it's IronBrice on turn 5. Maybe the play is to do Blood Chalice, but don't use it yet, and then also Kaya's Enforcer. So Blood Chalice, you could use it, technically speaking, but nope, decides to go in for the 2/2 Bloodletter, which is going to be a 3/2 now thanks to Kaya's Ghostblade artifact. ExBoss, do you attack? Because when you attack, that bird gives +1 HP for all attacking creatures. Maybe the play is Teferi's Acolyte, trigger your Immolating Glare, and maybe another Disorient to counter that 3/2. But we know next turn there's going to be maybe a Blood Chalice put onto Ragnar Redeemer, so we're going to have to see how ExBoss can play around that. But in any case, this turn on 6, rather 5, turn 5, but 6 mana Helix. Yeah, Lightning Helix is an option as well. There we go, very well done. So Lightning Helix kills the Bloodletter, goes in for the attack, the 1/5. I don't know if IronBrice is going to block. Maybe Kaya won't block because, okay, decides to block anyways. Maybe we'll trigger the Blood Chalice on the Kaya's Enforcer instead. In any case, Disorient is, there we go. So Disorient is triggered by ExBoss, or rather set up by ExBoss. IronBrice's land triggers giving +1, +0, so that's a 3/1. And if nothing is done, ExBoss with his trap will still turn it into a 0/1. So Blood Chalice maybe turns it into a 5/1 sneak. Nope, decides to use Kaya's Enforcer, goes in for the attack, turns it into a 1/1. Ugh, preventing IronBrice from getting back her 1 damage, 1 mana Kaya's sort of blade. Alright, Revoke, stuns it. I don't know why it was stunned, because it wasn't going to do a lot of damage anyways, but maybe IronBrice just didn't want ExBoss to gain more HP. Excuse. Oh, allergies. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Having some allergy attacks. Anyways, ExBoss on turn 6 casts the artifact to gain 1 trap and casts Absorb and shields up. So basically IronBrice is going to be absorbing, maybe it's Rakdos, but since you can't cast that, it won't absorb anything. Alright, so maybe it's time for Kaya to use the Blood Chalice. Decides to use Blood Chalice and uses it on the... Alright, Kaya's Enforcers. Now it's back to a 3/2 from a 2/1. And it's back to 3/2. Yeah, it's gonna block, shields up. They cancel each other's shields. And he gets Ragnar Redeemer for ExBoss. Very well done. So I think ExBoss, I don't want to call it, but I feel like ExBoss is going to take this game simply because he's ahead on life and cards. And also usually Kaya should have the quests sort of going by now on basically what is turn 7. You really don't want to be stuck on your early quests so late in the game. I think ExBoss has a lot of control with all his traps, the shields up, the absorb, the emulating glares. I mean, I think IronBrice could cast the Rakdos the Showstopper, and that would really take ExBoss by surprise if all the creatures died. And I think that might be the play going in for next turn. In any case, ExBoss gets the Celestial Protector, gives everyone basically a shield, goes in for the attack, and I don't know if Kaya will block. No, decides not to. Maybe she's going to use Rakdos the Showstopper. ExBoss uses shields up just in case something comes in. But let's see. If we see IronBrice attack with a 3/2, I think it's a telltale sign. Rakdos the Showstopper is coming out. Nope, decides to use the Blood Chalice and goes in for the attack. There we go. 4/2 with the sneak. It's definitely going to trigger. Or rather succeed the quest of the 3 damage quest. There we go. What do you get? Kaya gets the Stalwart Spirit, the 2, and gets the cut down. There we go. Gets it back. Casts Rakdos the Showstopper anyways, and what does it kill? Oh, okay. Well, that's a little rough. It kills 2 of your own creatures, one of which had shield. Doesn't get rid of the big threat 6/6. Yeah, I think the ExBoss has so much control with shields up. I think Kaya is going to block, but it's not going to be a good looking block. And let's see if, yeah, there we go. So very well done. Decides to block that, and 6 damage goes in, bringing Kaya down to 17. Big hit. Yeah, Emulating Glare, shields up, maybe even an Absorb for good measure, but usually Kaya is not known for those big cards, so maybe you don't have to. 2 or 3 mana left over. What do you play, ExBoss? Do you do Welkin? The Welkin turn, 2/2 flyer for 2 mana? I think you're thinking about it. I mean, you have everything out, right? You've got shields up. Rather, you have Immolating Glare, you have Absorb, so IronBrice cannot cast Day of Judgment, cannot attack with the 7/4. You pretty much have everything controlled. Could cut down. Cut down might be important here to kill the 3/1. Decides to stun maybe the 6/6. Yeah, and it looks like he's going to go in for the attack, but Immolating Glare is going to kill it. Cut down is going to kill the 3-1. And yeah, I feel like ExBoss has just so much control that Kaya has to sort of guess around. I don't see these being in Kaya's favor, but let's see how this goes forward. Decides to cast Cut Down again. Okay, on ExBoss's face, goes in for the 7-4. Immolating Glare kills it, and just like that, both Cut Downs are now gone. Even though you're still at Quest 3 life, Kaya still hasn't gotten it. So I don't want to call it too early like an offensive GG, but it looks like, you know, ExBoss with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards. 8 cards on hand, rather 9 now versus the 2 on Kaya's hand. I don't feel this going Kaya's way. Still stuck on quest number 4 life. Windborn Rock, maybe that's going to be cast again, which when it attacks with all the other creatures attacking gains that much HP. So if it's 3 creatures attacking, Windborn Rock will give 3 life. So there's 4 creatures now, basically 9 cards of ExBoss versus the 2 cards, maybe now the 3 cards. ExBoss, alright, gets the Hellmouth Cave proc, gives +1, but even 3 attack can't really kill the 2 5s, any of them. Can drain blood, thankfully, drain blood from the 6-1. But I don't know if the 3-1's going to go for the attack, because it's kind of a suicide run with shields up, yeah. I think it's pretty much ExBoss's game since Kaya is top decking. So ExBoss is probably going to go for the attack. Do you attack ExBoss? Sure, you cast Acolyte, and you get your Absorb up, you get your Divine Protector, it gives everyone shields. They all go in for the attack. I don't think Kaya is going to block. Hopefully Kaya has like a Day of Judgment. That would really bring the board back into IronBrice's favor. But yeah, that's 2, that's 6 damage going in. This is how a lot of Teferi decks they play. They don't have, not all the decks have those Angelic Protectors, the 6/6. They have these sort of little mini 2 damage, 3 damage guys, and that's just how Teferi sort of pings you down. Some other Teferi plays, they have maybe control. There we go. Absorb, Smite the Monstrous. So 6/6. Yeah, IronBrice knows it's game over. So just like that, good game. Wow, well done. So just like that, ExBoss had this game entirely under his control. Well done, ExBoss. Well played also, IronBrice. I know you're rather new to the tournament. You don't have all your legendary cards, but you know, hats off to you, honestly, for still signing up and learning the decks. It's a lot of fun to play with you in the game, so hopefully we'll see you in the next tournament. Well done, ExBoss. We'll see you in the next round. If you guys liked what you heard or saw today, please leave a like or comment, subscribe. Leave a comment below if you have any questions, or if you just disagree or agree with the commentary. We always like to hear your feedback, and hopefully we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.